Welcome to the University of South Carolina College of Pharmacy podcast. I'm your host, Margaret Gregory, and I'm excited to welcome Dr. Jordan Ballou and student pharmacist Tom Taylor to our podcast. Dr. Ballou is an associate professor in our Clinical Pharmacy and Outcome Sciences department. Her areas of interest include community pharmacy, practice transformation, implementation of clinical services, and rural health. Tom is a third-year student and was recently named to the inaugural cohort of the ACT Pharmacy Collaborative Student Scholar Leaders Program, a program supported by the Community Pharmacy Foundation through the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. And he has an interest in pursuing a career in community-based pharmacy practice. Welcome to you both. Tommy, I'd like to start by asking you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you came to choose pharmacy as a future career.
So I have a pretty non-traditional turn to pharmacy. I didn't want to do pharmacy at first. I didn't know what pharmacy even was. And then my girlfriend's mom was a pharmacist, and slowly over time she kind of just talked me into it because I didn't know what I wanted to do. She graduated from the University of South Carolina, so I just felt that, I'm a big Gamecock fan, so let's just give it a try. And sure enough, it's been nothing but good to me. I've made the best friends of my life. I've met mentors that are going to guide me for the rest of my life, I believe. And I just am very thankful for the opportunity to be at the University of South Carolina College of Pharmacy.
What is it about the College of Pharmacy that has helped grow your interest in the career field?
It's all the extra things that they offer. You have to go outside of your comfort zone, which I believe I've really done really well in my 3 years here. Normally, I wouldn't have delved out so far, but, the KPIC Center has thrown dinners, and I just show up to the events that they offer, and I've met the mentors that are guiding me on the path that I believe will be my future in this career.
Dr. Ballou, your resume is quite outstanding, and we're so glad that you brought your skills to the USC College of Pharmacy. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your path into pharmacy.
Yeah, absolutely. So I went to pharmacy school at Campbell University, which is in North Carolina, and had a really great experience there. But I really got my start in an independent pharmacy in my hometown that was called Community Pharmacy. And they really instilled in me the value that the community pharmacist brings to their town and the community that they're in. And so I started working there and then went to pharmacy school. I did a community-based residency with the University of North Carolina, which was a really great experience. And then kind of throughout that, decided that my passion was really with students and helping students find what they're excited about and what really lights their fire and gets them going. And so I had 6 years at the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss School of Pharmacy, and really enjoyed that experience in there. When I was there, I worked in an independent community pharmacy as well as taught students in the classroom. And through that experience, just really realized that the academia as a whole isn't always the best at showing students the value of community-based pharmacists and what we bring to the profession of pharmacy. And so I really wanted to find opportunities to expose students to that. And so I found this opportunity to come here to USC through Dr. Patty Fable, who is the executive director of the Kennedy Pharmacy Innovation Center. And she told me about this job opportunity that was open to be in KPIC and to interact with students and help with student programming that KPIC was offering that Tom mentioned before. And it just felt like the perfect fit. So I was kind of looking for a new opportunity, but not really. And this one just came along at just the right time for me, both professionally and personally. So yeah, really excited to be here as well.
What about KPIC do you think lends such unique opportunities for students?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really love how we always think about how does what we're doing, how is it going to fit for our students? How is it going to expose our students to the unique areas of practice? Dr. Fable and I both kind of lean towards community pharmacy because that's both of our backgrounds. And so that does naturally end up being a lot of what we do is exposing students to community pharmacy, but we really try to just highlight all sorts of innovative career paths. And so when I met Tom in particular, and he was very interested in a more innovative career path, and I was like, KPIC programs and the stuff that we're doing here is such a great fit for him and many other students too. There's a big emphasis on clinical pharmacy, and that is so important. And I think pharmacists are clinical no matter where they are. Clinical pharmacy is what you do, not where you work. And so I feel like my mission is to expose students to different avenues to be a clinical pharmacist.
Tom, tell me what interests you most about community pharmacy.
The options are almost endless, seemingly. So right now I work with Walmart, and it is a great job. It's a wonderful job. I love working at Walmart. I love the patient interaction I have, but it's just not something that I can see myself doing long term. So I kind of wanted to put a spin on that where I can have a better patient relationship and also pursue the business and innovative ideas that I have, because as Dr. Ballou knows, I have a very expansive imagination about any business idea that could ever come up. So I love to talk to people. Interaction with patients and improving their quality of life, and even just having a conversation and being acquainted with someone new just adds so much more to the meaning of life, and I just feel more fulfilled doing that rather than just working at another job or something. I want to be on the cutting edge, innovative new path, and I think this program that I've been enrolled in for the American Association of College of Pharmacies, I think is really on the cusp of bringing a lot of like-minded people together to try and solve that problem. Because, I mean, we've been through a couple of just scenarios in the first meeting where it just talks about how the doctor must prescribe the prescription, then it comes to the pharmacy, and then the pharmacy just dispenses that prescription, and then the patient just comes and picks it up. And a lot of times in a community pharmacy, especially the retail setting, you don't ever see an interaction. The patient just picks it up, leaves, and that's it. There's nothing there. So they're trying to figure out how the pharmacist can be more of a provider in that sense and actually provide more patient care rather than just being a dispensing option or a place where people, like a retail store, where people just go and buy medication. Trying to actually rewrite, I guess you'd say, that narrative of what pharmacists are supposed to do in their career path.
So what do you hope that you gain from taking part in this leadership opportunity?
Well, for one, I hope to meet more like-minded individuals that have that same goal. And I believe there's a lot of people in there. There's a couple of guys that I've talked to in there already that seem to be on the same page as me. And I would say everybody in there has been highly referred to that program by peers and colleagues and mentors. And the main thing with that is I would like to gain more innovative ideas and how we can actually implement these things instead of just talking about them and being ideas. Randy McDonough owns 6 pharmacies in Iowa, and it was a chain pharmacy, and it's all different. And I looked into his website, and he has a blog that he posts about and things that are problems that are in, with PBMs and insurance companies and such like that. And I hope to hear more from him, and he's one of the leaders in that program. So it's really good to hear from people that have a lot more wisdom than myself. So it actually just further nurtures that idea and actually push it into action.
Dr. Ballou, you've been a mentor to Tom. What stood out about him that inclined you to recommend him for this program?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can tell from just the little that Tom has already shared about himself is he's just really passionate about life but also the profession of pharmacy, and that has been so refreshing. I would say honestly that his passion and drive is unmatched in almost any student that I've ever interacted with. And he talked a lot about wanting to just meet people and how that is such a motivator for him as well. And I knew that in this program that he'd not only get to meet student pharmacists that are also participating in the program that are like-minded, interested in community pharmacy and innovation and entrepreneurship, but also that he'd get to interact with leaders that are already in the profession of pharmacy. So like he mentioned, Randy McDonough and some of the other pharmacy owners that they're going to have come into this program, and the faculty members that are going to be in it as well from other institutions. And so I just felt like it was a perfect fit for him and his interests and his desire to meet others and grow his network to help him, on whatever path he chooses to pursue as his career progresses.
When you're talking with students, what advice do you give them about getting involved in extracurricular things such as this particular program, student organizations, other leadership programs?
At Campbell University, where I went to school, there was a famous saying within the lore of the college that if you come across a turtle on a fence post, he didn't get there by himself. And that's kind of was the mantra of servant leadership. And so that's something that I have always embodied as well. And so whenever I meet with students, I encourage them to get involved, be in at least one organization. I think that's really simple to do. It may not be it may not be easy for everyone, but I think it's simple to be in one organization and to be involved. You don't have to be the president of every single club. You don't have to be the person that is in charge of everything, but to be involved, to be engaged, to get to network with your classmates and see them besides just in the classroom, I think is really critical. It's been critical to my success, my classmates from pharmacy school that I got to interact with, and people that were not in my class that I met through student organizations have been critical to my success, both as my mentors and then people that I have mentored in behind me as well. And so I just really believe in bringing someone along with you. I think is kind of my motivation when you get into a position of leadership, to be able to just bring the next group along with you. And so that's my primary advice to students usually is get involved, find a way to serve, whatever that way is for you, and then make sure that you leave it better than you found it.
Tom, I want to ask you, what advice do you have for students who are coming behind you? They may be in high school still, they may already be in a college program, but what advice would you give them if they're considering a career in pharmacy?
Well, firstly, I'd like to thank Dr. Ballou for the kind words. She's been a tremendous mentor to me, and she's connected me with a lot of really good people that she's been acquainted with and are friends with in her life. So I'm really thankful for that, and I'm really thankful for our mentorship. And to answer that question, I would say take every single opportunity at anything you can, because guess what? If you don't do it, somebody else is. And at the same time, it's not going to hurt you if you get told no, or it doesn't work, or you don't like it. You have to try these things to figure out what it is. And I'm not trying to be boastful or anything, but I'm involved in almost every organization I can think. I'm the class president. I never thought I'd be the class president at all. I'm the vice president of the pharmaceutical fraternity on campus that is heavily involved with philanthropy, and it's my second year doing it. I'm friends with a lot of people in my class, and I look to constantly find ways that we can work together to have our organizations work together and be together. So my biggest thing is do everything. Work at a job. Talk to somebody. Even if it's at the grocery store, just talk to somebody. Most people just want to be talked to. At school, go and talk to your professors. Go talk to the dean. Anybody. That's all it is about, is just forming connections and relationships with people. Meaningful relationships is the best thing that you can ever have in life. And that's my advice, is just you have to make those meaningful relationships, meet people, and take every single opportunity. If you don't think you have time, I promise you have time. Because I've done it. I've timed myself throughout the day, and I've realized how much time that I've wasted. So if you just commit to things and get a notebook and just write down a couple of things you want to do and your goals and everything like that, everything else will lay itself out. But you just have to put yourself out there and not fear what happens. That's my biggest advice, because I had to get through my head, because I was horrified of everything. I thought this person was going to think I'm a really bad person, or I'm still here, and I promise you everything will work out in the end. And then you just have to put immense faith in God. That's my biggest thing, is He will guide the path. You just have to walk it.
And I understand that you have your own business as well?
In fact, yes, I do. I am a entrepreneur already. I've owned a landscaping company in the Midlands for 3 years, but I've been doing it for probably 7. I do have 1 employee now this year, and we're slowly growing, but we're looking to expand a lot. So if you ever need some lawn care services, we got you at tommyslawncarellc.com. Thank you.
We'll make sure we take care of that. Thank you. Well, I want to say thank you to both of you for joining us for our podcast today, and congratulations to you to being accepted into the Pharmacy Collaborative Student Scholar Leaders Program. That is a mouthful to say. And good luck to you for all of your endeavors that you have coming down the road, because we know that you're going to be successful. So thank you both for being with us. You've been listening to the University of South Carolina podcast for the College of Pharmacy. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.